What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back. It's me, your boy He-Bot, with another exciting episode of Toys in My Closet. As you know, I am your host, and today I'm going to do just a really quick unboxing and overlook of my latest additions to my Transformers universe and War for Cybertron collection. And these are the ones that I picked up, as of recent, after I just did the big massive haul one not too long ago that I told you guys I had these already piled up since I think it was December, November of last year, pretty much during Christmas time. These came out probably at the very beginning end of the year, and I found them little by little, and some I got sent by as pre-orders from Hasbro Pulse themselves. So we'll take a look real quick at the box, and we'll start off with the bigger one here, which I forgot what class this would be considered, but this is none other than the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom, and this is the Cyclonus, which we haven't had a really nice Cyclonus in a while. The one we had before was a good one, but he was very small, and this one, as you can see with the promotional shots, seems to be very true to obviously what it looked like. And then this is the poster for Beast Kingdom. There's like Galvatron there, Unicron in the back, some other stuff because they mixed up Bumblebee, Optimus, they mixed up, Beast Wars, what it seems like, with what we know as the regular Transformers, which I personally don't like. But that's what they're doing. Some people are digging it, but me personally, I don't like it. But I just picked the figures based off Generation 1. So here is the next one, which is none other than the Warpath. And I wasn't going to pick him up because I already had a really good Warpath. But then when I saw the differences, I saw how much more like Warpath he looks, I picked him up. And don't get me wrong, I still like the one I have. So what I'm going to probably do is keep them both and use this Warpath as a younger version of himself, and then the other Warpath as an older version of Warpath, because he looks so good, you see. And then again, there goes the actual beautiful artwork. And then these here are supposed to be based off like the other video I did from the Transformers movies, where I showed you that I had Rodimus Prime, and I also had Scourge. These just came out in January, and I just got my hands on them not too long ago, so I figured, okay, let me just show them off in the haul. And these are Studio Series. This is Cup. There you see Cup, really nice. And the artwork in the front, and you see it says Transformers the Movie. And then it says 8602, which is the number, and Cup there in the corner. And then on the other side is another nice promotional shot of the artwork of Cup. And then, of course, the promotional shots of the actual toy in itself, which is a really good Cup. And I mean, I had some other Cups which I thought were decent, but once I got this one in hand, I saw how much better this one is, especially for the size and price. Then now we'll move on to the next one, which would be none other than Jazz. And Jazz, I had an amazing Jazz, where for a very long time, which I still love. I still kind of like him more than this one, but this Jazz looks so much like the actual cartoon one that I just had to pick him up because he looks really good. As you see, the inserts look like the inside of the Ark, and here is Jazz, and the promotional shots look really nice. Jazz at the bottom, Transformers the movie, the top, Transformers the movie, the side, nice artwork, and then the back promotional shot of Jazzy Jazz. And look how he looks so classic in the Porsche. He looks really nice. And the thing is, they bring me these really nice stands, which I wish I could keep, but I don't have no space. So I really can't keep them as background dioramas unless I fold them and put them away somewhere. But they're really nice. And here you go. Now we have none other than our number 8603. And I think 86 is for the year it came out, the movie. And that is Blur. And I had a couple of Blurs too. And this one just completely blows it out the water. Blur with the double R's, Transformers the movie, same thing. At the top, the actual artwork on the side. The only one I didn't, and then in the background, see, just like in the movie, and Blur like that, he looks just like the movie. The only thing is that these are small in scale, so you know it's okay. But I think I'm done with actually picking any more versions of these guys up, period, because they're just good enough for my collection. And also, they're almost like masterpiece looking, but in smaller form. But I think that's good enough for my shelf presentation, because I'm not really hardcore Transformers, but I do love Transformers as well. And then with so many other things I want to get, you know, like the Mythic Legions, you know, Masters of the Universe homages, and the upcoming, you know, G.I. Joe Mesco line, and things like the upcoming, you know, Gotcha Man, and from Storm Collectibles, and things like Guilty Gear X, and characters like Dimitri from Darksiders. It's just so many things I'm going to have to pick and choose which figures I want to continue to collect, because I just, one, I don't have enough space, and two, it's getting very pricey, and unless I sell half of the stuff that I want to sell, you know, then I can, you know, actually pick up some more stuff and add more space. So yeah, guys, let's I hope you sit back, relax, have a digital drink, enjoy the review, enjoy the time, and enjoy you know, have some fun while, you know, I review it and see what these figures have to offer out of box, and we'll do some little comparisons as well. So I hope you sit back and enjoy the entire ride. So I'll see you guys in a blink of an eye. Alright guys, I'm back, and before I continue, really quick, I wanted to let you know that, as you see here in front of me, I forgot to mention one of the pickups that I did, and that I actually had gotten also recently, which is the Transformers, as you can see there, War for Cybertron Netflix original series. What is it? Soundwave from Decepticons. And this one is because it looked a lot more, as you see in the back with the promotional shot, a lot more like the classic Soundwave, as you see there. And I like the one that was for Siege, but this one is has like a lot more better execution to it, even though it's less detailed. It actually transforms into the actual boombox, like I remember growing up as a kid. It was my Soundwave, the actual cassette deck, or cassette tape deck, which was a walkie-talkie, which you took. It was portable, and you see that, you know, it has the yellows, and it's supposed to have been all yellow, but it's actually yellow only in the trim, as you'll see in the figure, and not the gold. And you know, the other one that was from Siege, I believe, only transforms into a tank, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing is, I don't really transform my Transformers, you know, ironically, it's funny. But I like to have the option that if I want to, that I can. And this one is a 2-pack from Walmart that I think is exclusive to Walmart. It came with, as you see, Laserbeak and Ravage, which I bought separately. Even these look a little bit different from those double pack, 2-pack releases that I got from Target. And over here you'll see that it has the artwork from the original first Siege wave, but in black and white, with like that black and white aesthetic. So I wanted to show you guys that real quick. And here we have the figures out of box. There you go. Ba-bow. There you have them. These little rugrats here, trying to be all cutesy wootsies and stuff. So there you have, and I'll start off with the gentleman here in the front. And as you can see, this is my man, the Warpath. And Warpath looks really cool. I'm trying to see if I can bring him up closer to the camera. And you see that it has the whites with the black eyes. This looks more like a champagne reddish, but it's like a burgundy. And it looks really nicely detailed. The legs, really nice and compact. And these guys were actually a lot smaller in the original G1. They were like little mini bots. Now they're smaller too, but with a lot more detail and and playability factor. And actually, that looked better in my opinion, next to the other Transformers from the collection. And I really like to collect like the Generation 1 stuff, really the stuff I remember. Like I don't like none of the other stuff too much, like unless it's a different new bot. But as you can see there, he is like the size of Clip Jumper. And then your Cyclonus, you see, is a little bigger. Soundwave is like a medium, and then you have Cup and Blur, that they're like semi medium. So now let's take a look at Blur. And Blur looks awesome too. This Blur looks great, especially in comparison to the other ones that I have, which is almost night and day. Really, really nice. His face, a little antenna on top, yellow. Has a translucent plastic, so if you want to put, like a light around them, let's say, on the back of them, you see? Woo-hoo! It works. You can have them with the, like the traditional Transformers. Hold on, give me a second. From back in the day, you could just put a light in the back. A pipe source is called. You see the shoulders, nice articulation, even waist, clear plastic here, the back and the front. His gun, nice and white with the baby blues, and the nice regular blue, like royale blue. And this I wish had like a clip that when you did like that, it'd actually clip on. Then he has the welding piece when he's trying to fix, I forgot who it was in the movie. I forgot who it was, but they did it like where you pull it out like so. It makes it look like it's part of the hand, and in reality it's like a little peg, like right there, like a gun, and there's a regular hand. You just put it in and it becomes part. Looks pretty good. Gives you the illusion that it's coming out of his hand, or like his hand transformed into that, welding machine. In the leg area, the whites and the blues, really nice. A little bit of kibble. That's another thing I've noticed, that with these new Transformers, they try to do them a lot more streamlined with less kibble, and I think that's part of the attraction that a lot of people are really digging and really appreciating a lot with these newer ones compared to like maybe the first couple of Siege and stuff. Then we'll take a look here at oh boy, here is none other than Cup, my man Cup. Yes, there it is. There's Cuppy Cup, looking really, really majestic. Looking a lot like Cup. Nice clear plastic on on the actual visor, the Autobot symbol, the orange on the belt, the orange is on his wrist, or forearm. The only thing, for some odd reason, Cup has no wrist swivel on the wrist. They molded it to make it look like the cartoon, like almost like a human robotic hand. So his wrists don't swivel. That's the only thing. But he has, like, the what would be the bicep swivel, the elbow single that looks like a double because it goes up so much. Swivel on the elbow. It goes up that much. He has 180 degrees as well. So, it's kind of messed up. He brings his comm communicator here. That was from the movie as well. And his legs, as you can see. He has the thigh swivels there. They can do the Van Damme-ish. They kick up high, pretty much, like a pretty nice amount. They kick up, whoop. They bend the knee. They kick. Legs can go back. They even have, a little swivel there on the actual legs. So Cup looks really good. He's coming off as really teal on the camera. I don't know why, but in person, he doesn't look like that. In person, he has more of that natural look that he did in the actual, in the actual movie. Move this down a little bit, like so. Like the actual movie. So I guess moving on along, let's go to Jazz. And as you can see, Jazz is a lot smaller than the other guys. But Jazz looks dope. Look at that. Jazzy Jazz. The headlights. Autobot symbol with that nice ivory white. And it's all matte. That's a nice swivel there. Goes up there as well. He has... So, no, I don't know if he has swivel or not. No, he has no swivel either. His blaster. Looking very reminiscent to Jazzy Jazz. His crotch area there with the grays and the blues. With the ivory whites there, and the silvers. Is silver on his, feet. He has the silver on the rims. Nice clear plastic and baby blue on the whole cockpit area, and you see that it's painted really well with the blue and red that goes on top. Really, really nice. He looks great, man. And then the letter 14 that he represents, he looks really awesome. But as you can see, he's also very short, because he was short in the cartoon too. But look, how can I, let me see, I'll show you real quick. He's short, but he's taller than Warpath and shorter than Blur. So they're trying to keep the scaling very authentic to each individual characters with these new releases, with from the movie and from Beast Kingdom. It seems like to me like they're really trying to keep the scale true to the source, right? Then we have back here are none other than Cyclonus. And Cyclonus is a big boy. He's really tall, but if you let's bring him in so we can see his face. Pipe light source, you see it? He has a nice soft baby purple, and then that's that dark purple there in the ears, just like he came out of the movie, alongside the symbol of the Decepticon. And then clear orange there. He's a $30 figure, so they put a little bit more detail and I guess dedicated love to them. You don't see as many hollow bits. That's just, the thigh area, the purple there in the kneecaps. and they're fully articulated. All of his joints are very, very tight. Very, very tight. Look, his leg go up and down, and then they pivot too. I believe. They pivot a little bit, as you can see. He has a swivel, really nice. The hands, the blades coming out, nice highlights of black, his blaster. And then as you see that, the kid was very, like, flat, or, how you call it? Receded in, so it looks like there's hardly any kibble. You see where you would drive them, whenever somebody drives them, as you can see. He looks really good. Really, really good. And it's funny because you're like, oh, well, how the heck did Megatron fit inside him and stuff like that? He must have been huge. And I was like, well, they're aliens. They're robots, but they're aliens. So their metal is made out of a liquid that's supposed to give them the ability to shrink based on their scale at any given moment. Even though to us as humans, they'll still look quite big. And I never understood that, why they couldn't incorporate that into the movie. Because they're like, oh no, we didn't want to make, for example, Jerry Bruckheimer didn't want to make Megatron into a gun because he said it didn't look right because it would be too small. But the reality of it is, he's supposed to be a gun to the scale of Soundwave, which Soundwave is a big robot. So to us as humans, he would still be quite, big. But again, they're alien robotic symbiotes. So they should be able to melt and down with their metal to whatever size they need necessary, because they're living robots. They're not just robots like the robots we know that don't have any real emotions or feelings or anything like that. They're living. They're actual living organism. And here's the new Soundwave. This time with the red eyes. And I changed this from the other one I have because it has the red here. Same thing with his pistol. The classic pistol with the red on the edges, because that's how it was. As far as I remember. Has a lot more paint. But as you see how that's the yellow there? And then there it's kind of like goldish. They don't really match. Same thing with over down here by the shins of the legs. You see, it's painted really nice with silver. And he still looks nice. Don't get me wrong, he still looks nice. He still looks very nice. But he's no way near detailed the way that the Siege Soundwave is. And you'll see that in the comparison later. And then his gun, I changed that out. And look, the kibble is almost non-existent. And another thing you'll notice, he's wider. He has these pieces here that incorporated, it looks to make him look more like the way he did originally, with the buttons here, like the play, stop, and then they have that here too in the back. And this is what it would look like covering this. I'm assuming they don't have that extra pallet piece here, so now you can move, the legs, you can move them with the freedom. And these look a little bit thicker. He just looks a lot more like Soundwave now. He doesn't look like like a robot from Cybertron, and he looks more, I guess, G1 cartoon accurate would be the best way to put it. But he's still really nice. And then this cassette player pops out. Here's the Ravage in here with the paint application. You can slide it back in, close it, and with that also comes the other cassette deck or cassette, which is laser beak, which looks great. And I changed this part because I have the Decepticon symbol there too. And just to show you real quick comparison with this first. Here is the other one, which I like this look also, don't get me wrong, but you see the difference. I guess the actual smaller eyes, you know, in the actual wings, there's more details and colors. As opposed to these, they're more, you know, of silver and red only. But they look nice, either one, you know. But the new upgrade, I think, it's more representative of how he looked like in the G1 cartoon. There you go. So guys, what I'll do now is I'll just show you a comparison of each of the figures that I have here with the ones that I had before, you know, pre-existing in my collection, just so you guys can get an idea of the differences that they all have from their earlier releases. So guys, here we go. Let's start off with Warpath, and there you have it. This was my pre-existing Warpath right here, and as you can see, he looks pretty awesome as well. He's a little bit bigger, but he was a very good interpretation of Warpath. And you see there, I don't even know, oh, that's a little dust, I guess. As you can see there, he looked really awesome, highly detailed, very Warpath with the, you know, a lot more stylized, I guess is the best way to put it. It was more modernized for a new generation in this era, but with the aesthetics and feel still of the original Warpath. Looking really nice with the silvers and gunmetal silvers, and even the gunmetal silver on the actual tracks of the tank, or tank threads, as opposed to just white like the original one was. The yellows and yellows, you know, really nice Warpath. And he was pretty good. He didn't have a lot of kibble either. And this, you know, like that one as well. This extends out when you're in tank mode, right? You just push it in. And then that's like the back side of him, for those of you curious. And then in the arms, you know, and he would have the, you know, Autobot symbol. You know, so I still like him, so I don't know if I might sell him, but I'm thinking of just keeping him and using him as, like, you know, like an older version of Warpath, you know, compared to when he was a younger teenager, or, you know, young adult maybe, as far as they go, because you know, they age also, supposedly, you know, according to their mythos. So why not? Hey, fuck, screw it, why not? So now let's take a look at who I have lined up next. And next, as you see here, I have Cyclonus. And if you notice, you know, the Cyclonus is a lot taller. This old Cyclonus is a lot smaller, even though he looks great. And then the purple matches a lot better with this, you know, newer version than the older version, even though it's not that bad. This purple is the one that matches him in his whole body more now, as opposed to this more grayish type of purple. And you can see the face was still very close. It had the, you know, the secret disguise where you press it and it would reveal that he was a Decepticon. You know, the orange, the silver, like that one, but you know, the way they did it originally, you know, the wingspan, obviously with less color, paint apps and stuff, in detail. The gun was a mini com, I think it is, or a mini bot that you also have to transform. I don't even know how to do it unless I look at the actual, you know, the actual instructions. The knee pads still look the same, just more accurate and smaller. And then, you know, legs, and you know, it was limited as far as articulation. Because look, he doesn't even have a waist swivel. And then the pack with the translucent red, you know, and the kibble wasn't too bad either, because it was very minimalistic, as you can see. In that sense, they have the same type of approach. In that sense, if you put them here, side by side, you'll see that if I turn them, they don't have a lot of kibble, either version, which is good, which is very good, very, very good. Because it makes it look cooler, and the fact that they still transform is a big, testament, in my opinion, to Hasbro, how they're trying to engineer things better, and obviously being motivated, and obviously probably also to not feel embarrassed, to prove a point, with these third-party people out here like Moon Gang and Fan Toys that are doing such crazy jobs and with such high quality at such a good price as well. Obviously, they can't produce it in the amount and size as Hasbro, but there's options, and people usually just goes for the options. So yeah, here they go. So next, let's take a look at let's see. So here we have now Soundwave, and at first glance, as you can see, they look pretty much identical, because you're like, wow, what's really the difference? But when you really, really take a closer look, you'll notice that there's a lot of changes. They really did a lot of changes. So let's grab them and bring them closer to you. And the first change you'll notice, as you see there, is the eyes are obviously in the yellow as opposed to the red. You see that the actual part compartment that houses, the actual tapes, the glass is all scuffed up, cracked, and messed up and weathered from battle. You'll notice that he doesn't have the kibble on the side or the piece with the yellow lines. It's actually something here in the back where it holds the hand. You'll notice there's no detail here in the shoulder pads, as you see over there. And it's actually a different detail on it. He has this piece in the back, which is part of his transformation or his alt mode. You'll see that he has these in the front, but don't really have the ones in the back that say play. You see all the scratches and details more pronounced in the actual forearm. You'll notice it has the red line, which they're supposed to have it on him, but he doesn't. So I think I might tell my daughter to paint it and customize it, because I do appreciate those red lines. You'll see there that he has actual sculpting these knobs here with the red or pinkish with the yellow, and if you notice on this one, it doesn't have it. Same thing like all the scuff marks and details. The black over here, the vents, instead of being 4 like on this side, it's 3. Then you notice on the side panel, he has that plate there that kind of hindered from moving it better. And like I said, there's a lot of differences. Even the detail here on the legs are different than over there. And let's see what else. And then obviously, the most notable is the cable in the back, because it transforms into, like I said, a tank in this one from Siege, as opposed to the classic tapes. So I'll move these over, the laser beaks and stuff, and you'll see if I put them, side by side, you'll see the difference in how one has a lot more kibble than the other. And the other, although it almost looks like they're not that far different as far as, the thickness. And his legs actually look like they're less thicker than his legs, which is kind of odd, but it is what it is. You know, as you can see, and the Ravage has differences too. But this is the one that I bought from the 2-pack, which I kind of personally like better because of the red eyes and the symbol of the Decepticons, the rockets coming on the side, and then the details on the top. I like this one a lot better, in my opinion, than the one that came with him in the 4-pack or the 3-pack. So yeah, now what we'll do is we'll take a look at Jazz, right? Let's take a look at Jazz, because Jazz is also one that I only had, like, you know, 2 figures that was, you know, representing him on my shelf, obviously, until, you know, until now. So let's take a look at Jazz. And here we have Jazz, and again you'll see how dramatically different he is from the original, I think it was Titan Return Jazz that I had. That was my representation of Jazz to this point. But he looks, you know, more G1 and toy accurate from back in the day. But this Jazz, like you see, he's just freaking awesome. I really love the way he looked. Like, everything about him, you know, the visor, the face, and these were all black. So I had my daughter customize them in the silver, and they, you know, and it worked really nice. And, you know, the lines in the front and clear on the light, and then he even had these speakers that could come over and you could pull them out, because he's that, you know, his name's Jazz. He does breakdancing, he likes music. The number 4, which I think is the original number for him, even in the toy, you know, with the blacks, as you can see, the whites, his pistol there, the area in the middle there with black, and then, you know, the silver, the black with the whites, trim line on the tires, and he is like a Morpheus. And then in the back, obviously, you rub it and it reveals that he's a Autobot. The lines painted really well, so you see that you know, he's just really cool looking, and I really love this Jazz figure. I really do. So for me, I would probably do the same thing here, where this Jazz is the younger version, and I'll put this Jazz as him getting older, like Jazz in his 20s versus Jazz in his 40s, 45 maybe, which I think is really cool. It just looks awesome, and then the shelf presence, it's really nice. You see it's a lot bigger too, but this was what the studio class was before, like a deluxe, a regular standard, compared to this one, and they were both $20 figures. So yeah, you know, I just like it a lot. And then real quick, you see as far as their kibble and you put them sideways, you know, they're both not bad, you know, for what they are. I think the new Jazz has more kibble, to be honest, because these wings are wingspans that are wing that span out, which I think that's how Jazz was originally. I'm not sure, but in the new versions, you see, they kind of took that out, but it's all good. And then the whites, you see it's a lot more actual white, and this Jazz is like an ivory white. So let's move it right along. Alright guys, and now let's take a look at Cup. And as you can see, Cup, unlike the other figures that looked very much so as far as aesthetic and you know, the look of him, were very much closer in looks, even though they were more modernized to take. In this case, they were just drastically different. Like for here, this one, this is the one I bought. The last one I bought. And his face kind of looks like Cup, but it looks like Cup. And Cup was probably 18, 20. And the clear, you know, cabinet, and it's actually open. You know, really, like, nice figure. The representation of Cup is there. But I felt like he didn't really look like it. And he feels a lot more, you know, hollow. But still, overall, cool figure. So, you know, there's that version, and that was Titans Returns, I believe. And then there's this version, which this was Generations. And then, as you can see here, he's starting to look older. Nice face, but his design is really, really different. You know, and he looks busy. He looks like something more from, like, let's say, the movie, Transformers the movie. And he actually turns into a pickup truck. It was cool. He had this holster you could put in the back. So I would put it in the thing there, like a shoulder cannon, so you can have to shoot. So the only thing though, that as far as with Cup that you can do, because Cup is older, right? He's an old chap, right, so to speak. What I can do is I can put Cup when he was 20s, Cup when he was in his late 30s, going on 40s, and then Cup in his 60s, going on 70s. And you can get away with that maybe because Cup was already old. But, you know, that's if you don't want to get rid of the figure. So now let's take a look at the last figure. So here we have last but certainly not least, we have none other than Blur, right? And as you can see, with Blur, it's the same exact thing that I suggested, right? With Cup. My earlier representations of him were very, very drastically different, even though they had aesthetics that looked like him. But because Blur is still kind of young, you can't really say, oh, this is the same when he was this age and this was the same when he was that age. But you guys get the point. So here is the Cup, or rather the Blur that I had, that I got last. As you can see, the face was kind of cool, but the paint job was nowhere near the color scheme. And the paint applications was very few and far between, very little. Cabin, you know, the cap where you drive again, which would open, you can put like a mini bot there. You see, it would have all these details, so it's like more of a like a aqua blue kind of color. This is the only color that goes a little bit close to it, but not exactly, which was the beak, or the nose beak. So there's him, and then he was the one that I got originally first, and he was from, I believe, was Combiner Wars or from Generations as well. I'm not sure. But again, the face looking like Blur with even the little thing on the top. But he looked more like an anime style. He looks more anime. Like an interpretation of Blur that looks more like anime. Like he was an anime character design, or even just, you know, the samurai, you know? Red, blue, ivory white, the ivory baby white. But even though he looks closer in aesthetics as far as the colors with that one, this one's still a lot, I don't know, like the colors are still too blue, but not blue enough. Like the right blue is weird. It's like a ocean blue versus a sky blue, if that even makes any sense. And he had these blasters, and he has another blaster, and he has a hiding, and you can just pull out as well. Like so, I'm gonna put it in there, hide it. This is like, you know, a sheath for his gun. As I say, he has more of a samurai look, and then in the back, as you can see, you know, this is what he looked like from the back. So very different. And if you guys want to see what they look like side by side, like, you know, as far as the kibble, which I don't think I showed with Cup, but it's okay. There's your comparison, so you guys have an idea of what they look like. So you can see, boom, boom, You know, not too bad. Not too bad. As far as thickness, even though he looks a lot thicker. So, let's turn him back. Boom. Boom. And then last but not least, the anime version of Blur. Oh, he looks more stylized. He almost looks like the model kits. If you guys have seen him. So, that's it, guys. Let me just give my closing thoughts, and we'll end this haul unboxing. Okay, guys, so there we have it. Those are my latest pickups. There's my haul, and these guys are great. If you don't have them in your collection, and obviously you're a Transformer fan that likes to collect, I highly recommend that you add them to your collection, because you're not going to be disappointed. They're just that good. They're that cool, and they're a good representation of these actual characters in a more modern take, obviously, and also like the original classic toys and the actual cartoons. So they look fantastic. I hope you guys like my haul, unboxing, and overlook of these latest pickups. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Let me know what you think, if you guys picked them up yourselves, if you have them, if you didn't have them, if you planning on getting them, or if perhaps this unboxing haul and made you feel enthusiastic enough to go out and pick them up, or if you don't want to get them at all because they're garbage. It doesn't matter. Whichever it is, just let me know down below. I always like having good comments and good conversation, as long as if it's something cool and not something negative or immature. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. As always, share it with someone you think might like it. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you taking the time. And as always, if you subscribe for the first time, thank you so much, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did, I consider you now part of my family. And for all those who come and check it out and rock out with me, have been there since the beginning, thank you so much. Like always, for always the wealth of support that you always give me. People like Sega Man and Sega Forever and E-Rock and Master Chief and Tuckmaster and Ricardo and Louis Hiram. All these great guys that through the years have always given me support. Rupert Poseidon, all these great guys and others that come in and check my stuff out. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, you can find me on social media if you want to check me out. I'm on Twitter under Hebot Powerful Gamer. I'm on Instagram under C_respect. You can actually send me a DM there if you want to make any type of donations to my channel. You want me to donate anything, to have me review it or take a look at it or talk about it, whether it's figure related, video game related, pop culture, doesn't matter. It would be my honor, and I would be more than glad to do so. So just DM me and we could work out the particulars there. And as always, if you want to help me out from the kindness of your heart, with any way, shape, or form, because you have the means to, or because you like what I do, or because you want to help me grow my channel with better content, better quality, and just continue to put content on it, and not have to fade away, so to speak, right? Because I don't have a big following, so I can't really always sustain it unless I do it myself or with the help of my wonderful kids. You know how to do it. It's all down in the description below. So guys, there it is, my latest haul from an episode of Toys in My Closet. This is your host Hebot signing off. Until the next one, take care guys, keep collecting, be safe doing it, be considerate to others while you're doing what you love, because we're still in trying times. I'll see you soon, love you, and bye bye.